Well, it's been a pretty weather day so far Thursday, but we need some time to look ahead because there's more coming. We're just getting started. I'll show you what's happened so far on Thursday, and then we've got to go big picture to show you why well into next week we're going to be tracking possibilities for rain. First, let's start at the beginning. Here's today. Look at the timestamp. This is actual radar replay. 4 a.m., 5 a.m. is when the best of the rain started, and then look what happened through the morning today on Thursday. Right here, right in the main plume of this concentrated, pretty steady flow of rain coming across the bay. I'll show you the rainfall totals in a second. We did pretty good for half a day. And if we bring this up to the last frame, you can see by Thursday afternoon now, things are quieting down for us from this first initial band of rain. But if you look at what the accumulations are going to look like from now into tomorrow, come down here to Southern California. Look what is about to happen down here. They're going to get a very steady concentrated plume of moisture that's going to keep overrunning, and it's going to give them a pretty good amount of rainfall. Those colors on there is where we're getting close to like 6 inches of rain in the mountains. So it's the terrain down there that LA is really going to get hit kind of hard. And they've got plenty of burn scars there that is going to raise a concern. There are flood warnings, and there have already been some evacuations taking place in Southern California, just to show you what the accumulated rainfall is going to look like as we go over the next few days. This is what is about to happen down there. From the storm that came through the Bay Area on Thursday, it really has it in for Southern California. And then it's going to get reoriented and try to bring us a little more rain. Nothing like that. But we're not done. We're not done with this rainmaker or the next two. There are two more coming after this. So let's try and get a little more specific on what to expect from those. The first thing that we've got to do is just get a little review. How did we do here at home? Let me show you what the rainfall totals were like for Thursday for us. We'll start out down here. Look at Ben Lomond. Just about 5 inches of rain there, just from Thursday morning. Santa Clara Valley, you did quite nicely here. Almost an inch of rain there. Look at Tri-Valley. About a half an inch, same thing with Concord. About 1.25 inches for the city. And the numbers up in the North Bay were pretty comparable to that. There were places up in the Sonoma County mountains towards the coast that got about 4 inches of rain as well from this. No major issues with flooding from it. Early enough in the season, the landscape can take this amount of rain in this amount of time, but very active morning. We're not done. All right, let me show you what's going on here. That's the last few hours of satellite. Look how beautifully wound up that area of low pressure is sitting right off the coast. This is the atmospheric river that's going to pull in the moisture overnight tonight and into Friday. That's going to get LA with 4 inches of rain. But this system itself has kind of another trick up its sleeve. And for that, we've got to go back to the forecast monitor. And we want to watch this from a slightly different perspective. If we look at what we just had on the virtual map in the monitor, here's our spinning low we were looking at. There's the plume of moisture that is about to go through Southern California tonight. As I play this, you're going to see LA get hit with that, which you've already seen. But what I want you to watch is that center of the storm. That's what's driving all of this. So there's the rain going into LA overnight and tomorrow. But the center of the storm has worked its way south along the coast. And then as we get into Saturday and Sunday, throws more rain our way for the entire state. Let's watch that again, but what we want to see is just from Friday night into Sunday. So the center of the low here by Friday is about to grab this rain and try to throw a bit more our way. And as we play that forward and come in for a close-up look, there's not a lot. Same storm, though, coming back with more rain for us. Saturday afternoon, perhaps. Totals will not be big. And this takes us into Sunday morning. We're still looking at some rain from this as we get into Sunday morning. And then that system will get pulled away by like Sunday afternoon, and we'll get a break. But there are two more systems out there that are going to try and get in here with more rain. First, before I show you those, since we already know what we got from Thursday morning, when we see the system come back and we get a little more rain out of it from Saturday into Sunday morning, there's not a lot. We're talking about maybe a couple tenths of an inch of rain. So we're not going to see anything like what we've seen so far, and nothing like what is about to happen in LA over the next 24 hours, even though it's the same system. All right, let's go find the next two. So here's the one that we just watched. There's the rain that comes back for Saturday night and Sunday. That's the next one. Okay, that one's getting here on Monday morning. Doesn't look major, but it's a totally separate system, kind of a more traditional cold front. This is not an atmospheric river. It'll just be some more showers that come through on Monday morning. And maybe we're talking 1/4 of an inch of rain. It's a bit early. We'll refine that one as we get closer to it. But that is the next one that does look good. Now, we're getting a little farther out in the forecast here. I'm going to play that forward, and you'll see how that kind of falls apart, picks up more energy, and now we've got this beautiful winter storm. That's next Wednesday. Wednesday into Thursday. Usually you don't go too far out on forecast models like this. We're going out 7 days, 8 days to get to this. We're not going to go to the bank on that as an absolute, but I will say this model, the European, has been doing an exceptional job this winter with day 7 and 8. It's verified pretty nicely here, both in terms of timing and amounts and structure of the storm. So right now, there's a pretty high amount of reason here to believe by the time we get to Wednesday and Thursday, we could very likely have another good storm coming our way. It doesn't look like anything problematic. It just looks like another widespread, it's like winter. We got another good storm coming our way, rain for the Bay, and probably also going to be seeing some more snow that'll come into the Sierra. 7-day forecast looks like a mess with all of this. So here's our Friday. We're pretty much getting a break. Remember, Saturday into Sunday, the second wave of light rain from this morning's storm comes back. We get a few light showers from it, not that big a deal. Monday, an entirely separate system comes in, maybe 1/4 of an inch of rain, and then back here. That's the one that's looking interesting. And that's the one we'll keep a very close eye on, and we'll have updates for you on that one as we get closer to it.